I probably shouldn't be nervous every time I do this, but I am. We have power, I think. I don't see any smoke coming out of anywhere. Don't smell any smoke. Might be all right. Is there actually anything else I need to do before I try and start this thing again? It's got oil, I think. Everything looks okay under here. You gonna procrastinate any longer? I might do, yeah. Sounds pretty good. This is our warm-up, 13.3. Really happy with that. That's how you can tell your ITBs are balanced, because the map doesn't bounce around that much. We're sitting on 1,100 RPM, beautiful for startup. I do know that once it warms up, it will need adjustment. To do that, I have to have my laptop. Problem is, with the laptop, you're limited by the amount of battery that you have. Unfortunately, there isn't a car adapter for my laptop, so I need to run an inverter. I went with this inverter from Best Tech. It just seemed to be the best value for money on Amazon. The problem I have with this thing is that you're given two power options, this or these. This says on here that if you're gonna pull any more than 150 watts, don't use this. Well, I don't know what I'm going to actually use this thing for other than a laptop. Maybe I wanna run a fridge on drift days, who knows? I wanna future-proof it. So I have to use this, but this is shit. Like, what am I going to run this in the engine bay? I can't do that. This has to go into the car at least. Let's turn the damn thing on and see what we actually get. Oh, sparky, sparky. Fan is running. Does it work? It does indeed charge. So it does actually work. Second problem, here's the on-off switch. So if I manage to run these things into the engine bay, mount this thing somewhere hidden, if I want to use it, I have to find that switch to turn it on. I don't really want to do that. I'd rather a switch on the dash or something like that. So to do that, I need to interrupt this so that I can put a switch in between it, right? But I don't know how much current this is going to draw when it's pulling 300 watts. So it's got two 40 amp fuses in it. So you're going to need like an 80 amp relay. Well, I mean, most car ones aren't even labeled at what amperage they are. And if you try and do a Google search, it doesn't even come up. You have to sort of guess what they are. I did find in here that this is a 50 amp one, but look at the size of the blade terminals. Naps, Garage Off Riders, the Royal Home Centre, Kynes Home, Autobucks, Super Viva Home, Homac. 7 different stores. Nobody had a blade terminal that would go on there. Nobody. No one even sold relays like this. The only way I can think to get this done is to actually modify the thing straight out of the packet. So I hope the seller on Amazon never sees this video. The only other thing I can think to do is to give this constant power and interrupt this switch. That means pulling this front panel off, pulling the switch out, running the wires for the switch out, then running them to a relay. There won't be a lot of voltage running through this, so I could use any old relay, it won't matter. Let's get it apart and have a look. I've verified that it works, it's worth giving a shot, because there's just no way of interrupting this. If I forget to turn it off, it's going to flatten my battery, and you know that's going to happen. Okay, so, this is just decided that it's going to lock itself underneath one of the radiator hoses. Beautiful. Yep. Perfect. Yep. And this is how grappling hooks were made, ladies and gentlemen. Someone dropped something like this underneath something and then couldn't get it back out again. Oh, and again. Yeah, hopeless. Go over there. Right, I'm here on the test bench. Now, there could be a capacitor in here holding a 100-volt charge, so I do need to be careful. If I touch that, I could get zapped. This is not a good idea for anyone to be doing, let alone me. What's in the box? Ah, crap. Look at that. They've soldered it. That's a shame. Okay, so that's not going to work. Is it soldered onto the board? Looks like it's plugged in way in the back there. That is disappointing. Yep, we're doing this. What this tells me is that I'm not going to be able to get the inside board out. None of these wires are long enough. I have no idea how they did this. They must have loaded it in and then soldered it like this, because you can't, unless you twist this sort of sideways. The circuit board's glued in too. This actually will unplug, but I'll never be able to plug it back in again. Why did they glue the circuit board in there? Because they didn't want people doing what I'm doing right now. How much was this thing? I need to check. I bought this in March for 70 bucks. I'm not too happy about pulling it apart and voiding the warranty, but just not going to do what I want it to do. My fingers are too damn big. That's why they have children in China putting these things together. Bit of a side quest. I've found a relay that I want, but there's no markings on it, right? So how do you know how to wire it up? Well, you get your multimeter and you set it to resistance. Pick 2 of the wires. See, that's nothing. Doesn't do anything. Try another 2. They're normally next to each other, on top of each other. They're never diagonal. Now we've got some resistance, which means that these 2 wires are connected to each other inside. These are the 2 you need to put power to, or power and negative. That will close this switch. Let's do that real quick. I'm lucky because I've actually got this battery still sitting here from when I was messing with the Ototo stuff. Let's go gray to positive. Are you sure? Positive, mate. And we'll connect black and white to... Oh, you can hear it, listen. Right, so we're going to turn this relay on, connect to one red, connect to the other red, and we have a reading. I'm going to disconnect the black and white wire, and all of a sudden the switch is open. I don't know where this is going to actually sit in the car. I never ended up figuring that out. I never even figured out whether it would fit underneath the seat. Jesus, come on, man. This is why I drink. Getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, or a mosquito. I don't know how he managed to bite me on the hand without me seeing him, but, or her, because only the females bite. Go figure. Let's go see if it fits underneath the seat. I'm back out here with some Amazon loot. There's like 40 in here or something for 9 bucks. Amazing. The idea here is that I'm going to run it out of here through and then connect up. I can put the switch back in. No, wait, you're going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way. How does he know where we're going? Right, so I'm going to poke that the whole way through. It's not going to be easy for you to see. Nothing's easy for you to see. This is Garage K after all. You're not allowed to see anything. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here if you're from Amazon customer support. Nope, that's a crap connection. Thank you for playing. We're going to do that again. That's not bad. Use the heat of the soldering iron to do the heat shrink. I didn't know you could do that. Yeah, you can. I don't know if it's advisable, but you can definitely do it. My hair is pissing me off. Okay, now this one has to go onto the other side of the switch, so I need another little piece of heat shrink. That's probably enough. There. In and out as quick as you can. Put this heat shrink on. It all looks pretty damn good. No idea if it's going to work, but it looks good. What do you reckon? Yeah, see what I did there? I see what you did there. This thing will no longer work unless you connect these 2. What I plan to do is have a relay running off the radio circuit so that when you turn the key, 1 click, and the radio would normally turn on, so will this. However, if I don't want this running off, this won't run. What I need to do now is connect the relay up to it. I want it looking nice, so I'm probably going to do that. I think I'm going to attach this to some kind of board. I think I'm going to get rid of this and remake the plug. This guy from Amron, it's a standard 4-pin plug. They're not cheap, but I just happen to have some of them. Ugh. Yeah, it's that deal. That happens to be, oh, I've lost the relay now, the same, like, yep, cool, right? So I can use these onto a fresh plug rather than cutting and joining and whatnot. I did actually order a new crimping tool from Amazon that was supposed to arrive today. However, Amazon screwed me. Yeah, we'll deliver it by 8 AM tomorrow. at 7:30. We're so sorry, but actually we're not going to deliver it for another 4 days. According to Amazon, Thursday, May 23rd, it left Ichikawa, Chiba. 3 a.m. it was in Fuchu, 5 a.m. it's in Hachioji, and then 11:30 it's still sitting in Hachioji doing nothing. Now expected May 29. Really, really thin wire. It's almost too thin. That might not even crimp. No, she moves in there, Captain. Okay. I'll drop some solder into it then. This is the sort of shit that I was trying to avoid when I bought the new crimper. But, no, Amazon decided that we're just going to not honour our agreement. You agreed to buy it and we'll deliver it in this time frame? Oh, so sorry. We've decided that we're not going to be able to do that. Oh, well, then I've decided I'm not going to be able to pay for that. You broke our agreement. Well, that's well and truly soldered. Another one on here. Oh, Jesus, am I Spider-Man? That didn't work very well. That's okay. Let's check for, like, continuity and shit. Now we need to remember where on our relay this actually went. Red and red, right? We're going to double check that. Hold, please. Hold, please, while I waste some time. Yep. 2 right side ones. I need this one to be here. And this one to be here. So that's ready to go. Now I just need accessories and earth. Don't need that anymore. Goodbye.